Okay, it's been about a year since my last post. We have been saving money for the car to buy the various components. At this point, this is where the car kind of stands for us. I rubberized, undercoated the entire underneath carriage as well. We decided to go with a standard upper and lower control arm. Decided to go with the Shock coilover suspension on the top. And also on the rear with the single adjustable adjustability for that. On the inside, decided to go with the Randall's rack and pinion system. I've got that set up in there. We also have on the top side here the shock towers for the coilover suspension. There's a grease Zerk fitting right here. And then I also have a silver cap to kind of make this look a lot nicer once we're finished with the painting. We're going to paint the interior all black. We were going to paint the same color as the exterior. However, I think painting it black with the engine color being the same as the exterior will be a much better color combination and make the engine pop versus being green on green, which is kind of the color we're going with here. We have a 1-inch bar on the front with polyurethane bearings on that to kind of help out with the control in the front. You can see the T5 transmission adaptation mount there on the bottom side. We also went with TPCs or Total Control Products tubular frame system underneath. Most difficult part is making sure you line this up with the other side and make sure your distances from the one up here in the front, from here to here, and then from here to the one back over here. Make sure those two distances crisscross are equal. That otherwise, if you don't, this part and that part over there will not match up right, and you'll have to do a lot more banging and hitting than you want to. So if you do it right the first time, you should be okay with that. And then rubberize underneath the hole up underneath. Also drill the plate in here for this particular support. Hopefully this will look good and you can actually see it on the computer. Also installed the leaf springs here. Went with polyurethane bearings, knocked out the old ones, and I'll show you a trick on how to get those out here in a moment that really helped me out a lot. It was something I had in my arsenal. I didn't realize it because trying to push the old bearings out can get kind of push the old bearings out can get a little difficult. We decided to go with a Curry rear end. It's built out of just rear ends out of Nevada. It's got 3.5 gears in the back. As you can see, we got the Shock there as well. TPC has a complete product line that includes the mounts here for tie downs for the car, or you can use your original ones. We went with a Willwood disc brakes. Set up both rear and front. Internal parking brake in there, so that'll definitely help out. On the interior, went to Eastwood and got some of their sound deadening radiant barrier stuff. It goes down pretty easy. No real big concerns there. You just kind of have to piece it all together. It takes a little bit of time, but product so far, I don't know how well it's going to sound deaden, but going down in the ease of getting it in there, it's actually pretty good. It doesn't take much effort to peel it off and cut it like you want, just to get the feel. I'm going to need more. I bought the big kit, which was I think like 6 or 8 squares, which were probably 2 foot by 3 foot, and we're going to need more for the doors because I didn't have enough, so I'll have to buy another kit. I also went ahead and got the tape that goes along with that. It's basically a foil tape, same thing like you use in the air conditioning stuff. I probably could have got a lot cheaper and gone to Home Depot or Lowe's and picked up the same stuff, but it was kind of a package deal at the time and they were advertising, so you can probably save yourself $1 or $2. Just go get the regular foil tape from for air conditioning ducting, and it'll probably do the same job as that. We'll come over here and I'll show you the products. Here's the front brake assemblies right here. These are the two products that I used. Just their rubberized undercoating. Worked out pretty well. It actually, one of the kits came with like a little nozzle, and I've already thrown it away, but it was basically a little adapter where you take this cap off here and you put another one on. It's got an extension tube to it, and it has a brass fitting on the end, and it splays out in 4 directions and sprays omnidirectional, so you can put it inside your channels or inside your frame rails and shove it all the way in there, spray it, and slowly pull it out, and it's going to coat the entire way. The other thing that I decided to do was do a self-leveling seam sealer. I did that, I don't know if you can see it, right along this drip channel right here. It's basically a two-part channel in here. When it mixes out, it mixes into a little tip like this, and it's all baffled in there, and so when it gets out to the end here, it should be fully mixed, and it does a pretty good job with leveling out, making a nice smooth finish. We also used it on the drip railing right here on the inside, and that way it'll all come down and nicely drip out and go down here, which I rubberized undercoated all that in there as well, so since that's going to be where a lot of water comes from. So using it up here, that was kind of a guessing game. I think it should work out just fine, because I think that's where a lot of water is going to drip off of here and come down in. The other thing we obviously use, and I would recommend, is just a seam sealer. These are pretty cheap. They're probably $7 a piece. This one was like $30-something. It's kind of pricey, but it works out pretty well, I think. And of course, to do the entire car, I think I used almost 12 to 14 of these things, and I still need a little more. I put it on thick in some areas, I put it on thin in others, but to get a nice good layer on it that's going to stand up to rock chips, even though that's going to be covered up by some rubber shields there, splash shields, it turns out pretty well. I taped everything off. I will say you're going to get messy with this stuff. I actually went and bought a painter's hood to come over the entire my entire face, wore a mask and some glasses, and wear clothing you're going to want to get rid of, because it does tend to splatter back on you. I did rubberized undercoat down underneath here as well, along the channels, and in here as well. One thing I forgot to mention was the leaf springs. We went with a 4.5 leaf instead of a 4 or a 5. They actually make a 4.5 leaf. So it's going to give a little more suspension in the back. It'll probably a slightly stiffer ride. I'm hoping that will offset with these. If it gets too stiff, we can dumb those down a little bit and hopefully make it a little bit smoother ride. But of course, we're just making this as a street car, or a daily driver, so comfort is kind of what we're looking for. But if we want to get up on it, we're going to be able to have the option to do so. The other thing I was going to show you to do with regards to getting those bearings out, I actually had a steering wheel puller, and that worked out really well. Just clamped it on one side of the eyelet of the leaf spring, put a bolt in there, used that to basically push that all the way through. Popped out pretty quick. I forgot I had this thing, but you can go rent these from O'Reilly's and AutoZone, I'm sure, for cheap. You can probably go to Harbor Freight and pick up one of these for probably 10 bucks, and let me tell you, it'll save you a lot of time and a lot of trouble when it comes to getting those bearings out, so you can put the new polyurethane bearings in if you're wanting to do so. So welcome your comments. I hope you like what you see so far. Maybe a few more months before I get another post, because we're saving up money. Other than that, and well, forgot to show T5 transmission. So with that being said, you all have a good day, and let me know if I can help you out with any questions of other stuff that I've done. Thanks.